السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. One of the things that the scholars of hadith were known for is that they will not mention the hadith or they will not teach the hadith except from their written documents. Because they used to recite multiple ahadith in the same setting. Of course, if they mention one hadith, 2, 3, 4, 10, they do it from memory. But when they teach the science of hadith and they teach the hadith, they would read it from their own documents. Why is that? Because they were very precise, or they were doing every possible effort to convey the hadith exactly as they received it. They would never add a letter, nor they would subtract a letter. One of the greatest muhaddithin was Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal has memorized over 1 million hadith. Alf hadith. In fact, he would not teach hadith except from his documented or from his documents, the written documents. Similarly, Imam Mālik, rahimahullah ta'ala, Imam Mālik of al-Medina, he would actually ask his students, read from this document. So, Imam al-Shafi'i, rahimahullah ta'ala, was one of those Imams that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed with the best memory ever known in his century. To the extent that Imam al-Shafi'i used to say that when I read a document, I have to put my hands on the sides so that I don't memorize everything together. So because everything he sees from the first glance, it sticks to his mind. So he had to put his hands like this so that he only sees something in the same flow, so that he will not see two columns at the same time. Yarhamkallah. So Imam al-Shafi'i memorized Quran at the age of 7. And then he memorized the book of Muwatta, which is the compilation of hadith that Imam Mālik did, at the age of 10. Of course, that was along with many other books. And then he went to Imam al-Muwatta to read it directly in front of him. This is actually called ijaza in the science of hadith. A person would memorize the hadith and then he would recite it in front of the sheikh, who has the chain of narration, so that he would say that I have heard it or recited it in front of the sheikh directly. Not only that I memorized it, but also heard it directly from him. Because sometimes you may memorize the hadith with mistakes. You change on the vowels, you change on the letters, and without knowing. So Imam al-Shafi'i went to him, and he was almost 12 years old. And in front of everyone, he was like, Shaykh, I want to read al-Muwatta in front of you. I said, okay, that's fine. He actually got a lot of testimony about Shafi'i, that he was something like very special. Otherwise, Imam Mālik didn't have enough capacity or time to go with everyone. So he wanted to give him something. He said, find someone who will read the hadith in front of you and in front of me, and then I will go with that. He said, I can read it for myself. He said, okay, you read it, go ahead. He said, do you want me to read it from the book or from my memory? So Imam Mālik was like, you're 12 years old? Are you asking this? But he wanted to test him. He said, okay, read it from your memory. Over 15 days, with long sittings, Imam al-Shafi'i recited the book of Muwatta, cover to cover from memory, not a single mistake. So that's when Imam Mālik rahimahullah ta'ala said, you will have a bright future, inshaAllah. And that's where we saw Imam al-Shafi'i. Jazakumullah khair, sallallahu alaihi wa sallam.